guys, I'm Cody with the Damn Fishing Addicts, and on today's video we're going to go over rod selection. I know there's a lot of new people getting into snagging and maybe you're not quite sure what rod to get, what company to go with, what size to get. I'm going to cover just a little bit of that today, so let's jump into this. We'll start low end and go high, I guess. This is what I would call your garage sale, pawn shop, entry-level budget snagging rig. This is a Okuma Fat Cat pole we had left over from a snagging season, and just a Walmart $25 Quantum 60 reel with some braid on it. The only thing we did is we cut all the foam off of it, rewrapped it with paracord so that it had like that meat hunter like look, and we painted the rod. You could probably find something similar to this at a garage sale, Facebook Marketplace, pawn shop, anything like that, for anywhere from $20 down. Another option on that budget end of it, this is the Okuma Fat Cat KS Special Combo. You can buy these at a lot of different retailers, a lot of different bait shops and things like that as a complete combo. This one doesn't have a handle on it right now because I broke it, but you can get this entire combo, rod, reel, line, the whole 9 yards. I think it was like $49.95, something like that, at a local bait shop. This would be a good way to get into it. And if you decide you don't like snagging, snagging ain't for you. It's still a good catfishing rod. It's good heavy action. They last. The only issue we ever had was the reel breaking the handles and breaking the anti-reverse. But again, that wasn't immediately. It took some time. They took a lot of punishment before any of that broke. So don't let that deter you away from trying this out if you're on a budget and you're wanting to just try out snagging and you don't want to tie up a lot of money into it. This is one you could get. Go get your hooks, go get your weights, and go try it. See what you think. Next up on the low, I guess it wouldn't really be lower end. This is more getting into the better rods and stuff, is like a 10-foot meat hunter. This is just a 10-foot rod. This is a one piece, so anytime you get into a one piece, to me personally, I think a one piece fights better because you don't have that thick spot where the two rods come together. So I personally think a one piece fights better, but the downside is you got to have a way to haul it. You know, this is a 10-foot rod that doesn't break down, so you got to think about that. You can get 10-foot two piece. It's, you know, they do make them. This one here is obviously a bait casting pole. This is it's a really good setup. The reel isn't. I have a whole nother video on this reel. I've just set these up for catfish. So if you look into getting into a little better rod, I would look at the meat hunters. This is a heavy action, like I said, 10 foot. This will do you well on spoonbill. And then you get up to the 12 footers. This is a 12 foot. This is my personal pole here. This is the one I use all the time, 12-foot two piece. I do have this one. This is a 12-foot one piece. But like I said, again, it's a convenience thing of hauling this thing around. I love the way this pole fights. I love hooking into fish with this pole. You get the action of the pole all the way throughout the whole thing. I've got a picture of me casting this pole where I was slinging a 6-ounce weight, and I got this pole bent almost in a complete C. You know, where this pole here, it has that heavy section right here in the middle where the two poles come together. Don't let that deter you. That still fights great. Like I said, this is my personal rig that I use all the time now. My son uses that one. One downside to a two-piece too is that times this will come loose and you'll go to cast and your eyes might not be quite aligned or something like that, and you'll have to, you know, line it back up. It's not a big deal. It's just one of them things that every now and then you got to watch. Like I said, this is a little bit more expensive, especially if you went with this whole complete setup. You're looking at a little over $200 for this whole complete setup, reel, line, and rod. So that's pretty much my snagging rigs, my snagging setups. Another thing, make sure whenever you are buying a rod, you buy it to match your reel. This is a spinning rod. The difference between a spinning rod and a casting rod is the eyes, for one. If you look, the spinning rod has a lot larger eyes going up toward the tip. That is because whenever you cast a spinning rod, the line is whipping off there and it has to slowly be brought down to a small eye, or it's going to slow down your cast. You're not going to get as far cast, and it's just not going to run right. You need that big eyes at the beginning to let it slowly bring that line down. Also, a spinning rod, the eyes are on the belly of the bend. Everything, every rod, plastics, everything has a memory. It has a certain way it wants to bend. Like this card, no matter what, I can flip it over, it's always going to want to bend with the painted side in. That's the way this card likes to bend. That's the memory it has. Rods are the same way. A rod will always want to bend a certain way. It has a way it bends easy. Will it bend the other way? Yeah, it'll bend the other way, but that don't necessarily mean that it likes it, and it's not good for the rod. So on a spinning rod like this, your eyes are on the belly of the bend. When you're fighting a fish, it's going to be bending down this way. Your eyes are on the belly. On a casting rod, your reel is on the top. It's meant to be fished this way. Your reel is on the top, therefore the eyes, as you can see, the eyes are smaller all the way up because the line is coming straight off. The eyes are on top of the bend because it's meant to be fished this way. So whenever you go to select a rod, make sure you select a rod that matches your reel. You will have some people tell you, oh, it doesn't matter, anything like that. I've talked to multiple rod builders and they all tell me the same thing. That matters a lot. Make sure you buy a rod that goes with the reel you have. If you try putting a spinning reel on here, yeah, you're going to be able to cast it. Yes, you're going to be able to fish with it. Not to its maximum potential. It doesn't want to bend this way. It wants to bend this way. So make sure, like I said, make sure you get a rod that matches your reel, and make sure you get a reel you like. I've made another reel video going over a lot of these reels that are here, and I'm also going to I made another gear video, so you go check out that. I didn't want to put them all in one video at one time. I figured it'd make the video too long. But anyway, I think that's where we're going to end this, and hopefully we'll see you at the dam.